I am Dr. Nidhi Sharma from AISSMS Institute of Information and Technology Pune from Engineering Science Department has participated in international activity on environment and sustainability organized by D.Y. Patil College of Engineering. In my week 1 video, I have discussed about the 8 simple ways to help environment. So by that, students are constantly learning how they can make a difference in the world. There are classes and club focused on various social issues, and these places teach students how they can change these issues. In week 2 video, I have discussed about what is the impact of environmental pollution in this whole world. The learning outcomes from week 1 and week 2 video is the students will be able to calculate the environmental footprints to see how much impact just one person has on the world's resources and adjust accordingly. Protect environment and will develop some novel devices to overcome the pollution. They will spread the awareness in neighborhood and the whole world. In this slide, I am discussing about the P4 grading topic, ISO, IEEE or other company specific standards for solar energy. The standards by ISO TC 180 for solar energy, these are two subcommittee, ISO TC 180 AC1, SC1, climate measurement and data, and ISO TC 180 SC4, this is system, thermal performance, reliability and durability. There are few ISO standards like ISO 9488-1999, this is solar energy vocabulary, ISO 9553-1997, discuss about the solar energy, method of testing, perform rubber sealing compound used in collectors. So there are different ISO standards like ISO 9806-2017, solar energy, solar thermal collector test method, 9808-1990, solar water heaters, elastomeric materials for absorbers, connecting pipes and fitting methods of assessment, ISO TR 10217-1989, solar energy water heating system, guide to material selection with regard to internal corrosion, ISO 22975-12016, solar energy collector components and material part 1, evacuated tubes, durability and performance, ISO 22975-2016, solar energy collector components material part 2, it describes the heat pipes for solar thermal application, durability and performance. Then part 3, absorber surface durability, and part 5, insulation material, durability and performance. Here I am in this slide describing about ISO 9806-2017, solar energy, about solar thermal collector test method. In 9806-2017, specific test methods for assessing the durability, reliability, safety and thermal performance of fluid heating solar collectors. The test methods are applicable for lab testing and for in situ testing. In 9806-2017 is applicable to all type of fluid heating solar collectors, air heating solar collectors, hybrid solar collector, co-generating heat and electric power, as well as to solar collectors using external power source for normal operations or safety purpose. It doesn't cover electrical safety aspects or other specific properties directly related to electric power generation. And in ISO 9806-2017 it's not applicable to those devices in which a thermal storage unit is an integral part to such an extent that the collection process cannot be separated from the storage process. So this is very important for making the collector thermal performance measurement. This slide is for grade P5, carbon emission footprint calculation and computation. So here I have taken few examples in daily uses which we apply in our daily life. So how can we calculate and what are the carbon emission? So first example is home and office energy usage. Calculation and computation. Electricity. We calculate emission from electricity generation with the EPA's EGRID emission factor based on 2018 published in 2020 using the US average electricity source emission of 0.947 CO2 per kilowatt hour, means 0.429 kilograms CO2 per kilowatt hour. Heating oil, there are 10.16 kilograms of CO2 per gallon of home heating oil. Natural gas, there are 0.00531 metric tons of CO2 per 100 cubic feet of natural gas, and propane, there are 0.00576 metric tons of CO2 per gallon of propane. Second, on traveling. In traveling, we use vehicles, air travel, rail travel, and so many. In vehicle, like unleaded automobile gasoline emit 8.78 kilograms CO2 per gallon, and diesel, it emits 10.21 kilograms CO2 per gallon. In air travel, CO2 emission for coach economy air travel vary by a length of flight ranging from 0.134 kilograms CO2 emission per passenger mile to 0.217 kilograms CO2 e per passenger mile. With the higher emission for shorter flight segments, our calculator uses a simplified factor of 0.2 kilograms per passenger mile. In railway travel, the CO2 emission for long distance train, intercity rail like, is 0.114 kilograms per passenger mile. As well as in traveling, like ground truck shipping, emission factor is 0.209 kilograms per ton mile. Air shipping 1.278, rail shipping 0.021, and ocean water shipping emission is 0.0409 kilograms per ton mile. In hospitality also, there is carbon emission. Hospitality like meals, the average person's diet contributes 2545 kilograms CO2 emission to the atmosphere each year. By dividing by 365, it is deduced that the average person's diet contributes on average 7 kilograms carbon dioxide emission a day from their meal. This calculation is based on an average US non-vegetarian diet. The emission for food preparation are not included in this calculation. Like in hotel rooms, emissions associated with the one night stay to a hotel room are calculated at 15.13 kilograms CO2 per room day for an average US based hotel budget through mid-scale or upscale US based hotel that includes restaurant, meal services, meeting spaces. Emission are calculated 26.6 kilograms CO2 per room day. Employee travel. Short flights are calculated to be under 300 miles one way with emission of 0.217 kilograms CO2 emission per passenger mile. Medium flights calculated 300 to 2300 miles one way, average 1500 miles with emission of 0.134 kilograms CO2 emission per passenger mile. And long flights calculated to be more than 2300 miles, average 3000 miles one way with emission of 0.167 kilograms CO2 emission per passenger per mile. Train trips 0.114, subway trips 0.1, and bus trips 0.056 kilograms CO2 emission per passenger mile. Employee commute. Commute by car 0.338 kilograms CO2 emission of gas consumed per mile, and two-way commute 245 days a year. So in over and all, this is the calculation. Commute by intercity rail, assume a two-way 245 days a year, 0.114. Commuter rail 0.149, and commute by transit like tram, subway, this is going to be 0.1. So if you compare, like definitely when we are commuting, we should compare and then we should use those things. Like if you are commuting by transit like tram and subway, it is having the less emission. So we should go for that. In this slide, I'm talking about the sustainability computation standards for solar panel. This is the third topic for week 4 YouTube. The solar energy is a renewable free source of energy that is sustainable and totally inexhaustible, unlike fossil fuel that are finite. It's also non-polluting source of energy, and it doesn't emit any greenhouse gases when producing electricity. Using solar power means reducing your energy bills and saving money. Now main thing, the instrumentation. What are the components of solar panels? The four major components for solar energy system panels: inverters, racking, and solar battery storage if desired. Solar panels are the most visible element of your system, which is why you are likely the most familiar with it. They are in essence the face of solar. What instrument is actually used for solar radiation measurement? Pyranometer. It's an actinometer used for measuring solar radiations. It is designed to measure the solar radiation flux density watt per meter square from the hemisphere above within a wavelength 0.3 micrometer to 3 micrometer. Now what is solar panel system actually? Solar panel, it is also known as PV panel, are used to convert the light from the sun, which is composed of particles of energy which are called photons, into electricity that can be used for power electrical loads. Which are the best solar PV design software? Like what software we use? 8 PV design solutions are there. Aurora, BlueSol is a Microsoft Windows based software that lets you design PV system in any country. Homer, PV Complete is a software platform that lets developers, installer and engineers work together and on one platform. PV Complete, PV Solar, PV System, there are so many. How do you create solar photovoltaic? A solar PV system design can be done in 4 steps: load estimation, estimation of number of PV panels, estimation of battery bank, cost estimation of the system, base condition like 2 CFL 18 watts each, 2 fans 60 watts each for 6 hours a day. Now the next important point, sustainability of solar panel. How much it is sustained. Solar energy offers many benefits that make it one of the most promising energy forms, renewable, non-polluting, available planet-wide. It contributes to sustainable development and job creation where it is installed. When you use solar energy in your home, you lower your overall greenhouse gas emission like CO2 and you reduce the carbon footprint. While solar panels are considered a form of clean, renewable, the manufacturing process does produce greenhouse gas emission. Now, how many solar panels do I need? If I need 1000 kilowatt hour per month. If we are receiving average of 4 hours of usable sunshine per day and your solar panel is rated at 250 watts of power, then you will need 40 panels to reliably generate 1000 kilowatt hour per month. An average residential solar panel size today is about 5.5 feet by 3 feet. A panel with a degradation rate of 1% per year will be 10% less efficient after 10 years. In fact, 78% system tested had a degeneration rate of less than 1% per year. That means that after 25 years of use, about 4 out of 5 solar panels still operate at 75% efficiency or better. 10 kilowatt or 10 kilowatt is the 10,000 watt of DC direct current power. This could produce an estimated 1000 to 1500 kilowatt hour of AC power per month, assuming at least 5 sun hours per day with the solar array facing sun. Now, what's the lifespan of solar panel? 25 to 30 years. As a general solar industry rules of thumb, solar panels last about 25 to 30 years. However, this doesn't mean that they stop producing electricity after 25 years. It just means this energy production has declined by what manufacturer consider to be significant amount. And how much a solar panel can be recycled? Silicon based solar panel recycling. Almost all 95% of the glass can be reused, while all external metal parts are used for remolding cell frames. The remaining material are treated at 500 degrees centigrade in the thermal processing unit in order to ease up the binding between the cell elements. In the last, I just want to thank to the organizing committee of Dr. D.Y. Patil College of Engineering, Akroti, for organizing such a wonderful international FDP on environment and sustainability. I learned a lot during this period. Thank you so much.